China always opposes unilateral tariff hikes in violation of WTO rules and will take all necessary measures to safeguard its legitimate rights and interests.
It's no secret that the president, this entire administration, has been concerned about unfair practices by the PRC that harm American workers and businesses.
Biden is taking this action today to defend America's workers and manufacturers against unfair Chinese trade practices. So this comes on the heels of a review of existing tariffs. The decision has been to respond to continuing unfair trade practices that include intellectual property theft, forced tech transfer, and an overall economic system that has significant anti-competitive effects on the American economy and others. And we are raising tariffs on about $18 billion worth of Chinese imports, including on electric vehicles, solar, critical minerals, batteries, industries of the future. The point is to allow for America's workers and manufacturers to have the space and the room to grow and to thrive in a global economy that's been significantly dominated by artificial advantages created by the Chinese economic system.
China has blasted the Biden administration's audacious move to ramp up tariffs on Chinese imports, signaling a fresh and fiery chapter in the ongoing trade war. This bold step by President Joe Biden, perceived as a blatant act of economic aggression, has sparked a fierce backlash from Beijing. The new tariffs, targeting crucial sectors like semiconductors, solar cells, and critical minerals, are being seen as a desperate attempt by the U.S. to stymie China's meteoric rise. With tariffs reaching as high as 100 on electric vehicles, the stakes have never been higher. The Chinese government, not one to back down from a fight, has vowed resolute measures to defend its interests, accusing the U.S. of political manipulation and economic sabotage. This latest escalation is not just about trade. It's a clash of titans, a high-stakes battle for global supremacy. Biden's decision, which critics argue is a thinly veiled tactic to win favor in the upcoming elections, could very well backfire, igniting a full-blown economic war with devastating consequences for both nations. This provocative move by the U.S. is seen by many as a reckless gamble, one that risks inflaming tensions and destabilizing the global economy. Beijing's measured yet firm response highlights the delicate balance of power and the potential for catastrophic fallout if either side miscalculates. Stay with us as we dive deep into this explosive story, examining the potential ramifications and the intricate web of political, economic, and strategic factors at play. Hello and welcome back to Innovative Check YouTube channel, where we delve into the innovative and transformative projects changing our world. Us in cars. If you're new to the channel and enjoy learning about innovation stories around the world, please subscribe, like, and comment to help boost our videos on YouTube. China has issued a stern warning to the U.S. following President Joe Biden's recent decision to impose new tariffs on a wide range of Chinese imports. The Ministry of Commerce in China stated unequivocally that it would take resolute retaliation to protect its interests, though it stopped short of specifying what those measures would be. The ministry's statement came on the heels of Biden's announcement, which detailed significant tariff hikes on imports from China, including semiconductors, solar cells, and critical minerals. The new tariffs range from 25 for batteries to a steep 100 for electric vehicles. The timing of Biden's announcement, which follows a comprehensive review of former President Donald Trump's tariff policies, has not gone unnoticed in Beijing. Chinese officials have characterized the move as political maneuvering, given its proximity to the upcoming U.S. elections. This sentiment was echoed in the reaction of the Chinese stock market, where shares of key companies such as Semiconductor Manufacturing International Corp. and Longi Green Energy Technology saw declines. B.Y.D, a leader in China's electric vehicle market, also experienced a dip. Just a quick reminder to hit the like button below. YouTube has been restricting my videos a lot recently because of bots, so your like does help out this video massively in terms of the algorithm in YouTube. In response to previous tariff increases under Trump, Beijing often employed a tit-for-tat strategy, mirroring the U.S. measures in scale and scope. However, experts now anticipate a more measured response from China. Michael Harrison, a former U.S. Treasury official and current head of China analysis at 22V Research, suggests that Beijing's retaliation will likely avoid actions that could sharply escalate tensions. Instead, China might steer clear of measures that would disrupt supply chains or target prominent U.S. firms, as these could undermine President Xi Jinping's efforts to attract foreign investment and maintain economic stability. President Xi has been actively working to bolster foreign investment in China amid concerns over the nation's economic trajectory. Analysts like Hyson believe that China's leadership will be cautious not to exacerbate tensions in a way that could make China a central issue in the U.S. presidential campaign. This cautious approach was evident in comments from Chinese embassy spokesman Liu Pengyu, who dismissed U.S. accusations of Chinese overcapacity as a false narrative and criticized the U.S. for its protectionist trade policies. Liu emphasized China's competitive edge in manufacturing, arguing that the U.S. should focus on improving its own competitiveness rather than blaming others. His remarks underscored Beijing's broader strategy of positioning itself as a victim of unjust U.S. trade practices while maintaining an open stance towards international cooperation. Despite the potential for a measured Chinese response, the limited scope of Biden's tariffs might help contain any significant fallout. According to Tobin Marcus and Shutong Zhu of Wolf Research, the new tariffs only represent an 8% increase in the total volume of exposed imports from China. They argue that the phased implementation of these tariffs will mitigate their impact, suggesting that Beijing's response will aim for proportionality to avoid severe repercussions for the U.S. economy. Biden's tariff policy reflects a delicate balancing act. On one hand, he aims to project a tough stance on China and safeguard U.S. jobs. On the other hand, he must navigate the potential economic repercussions, including the risk of inflating domestic prices. Last month's imposition of 25 tariffs on Chinese steel and aluminum, which had minimal practical effect due to the low volume of these metals imported from China, exemplifies this cautious approach. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has expressed hope that China's reaction will not be severe. Acknowledging the possibility of a significant response, she emphasized that the new tariffs are designed to protect U.S. firms and workers without imposing undue burdens on American consumers. This sentiment reflects the administration's broader strategy of targeting specific sectors to minimize the overall economic impact. As the situation develops, both Beijing and Washington will need to carefully navigate this complex economic landscape. The interplay between domestic political considerations and international economic strategies will be crucial in shaping the next steps in this ongoing trade dispute. The potential for further escalation remains, but the emphasis on measured and proportional responses suggests a continued focus on maintaining economic stability while addressing the underlying tensions between the world's two largest economies. If you are enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to subscribe, share the video, and comment. The tension between China and the U.S. has reached new heights as both nations brace for the repercussions of the latest round of tariffs. The Biden administration's move is seen as a continuation of a broader strategy aimed at curbing China's growing economic influence and addressing long-standing trade imbalances. However, this strategy has not come without its critics. Many analysts argue that the U.S. approach, while intended to protect domestic industries, may ultimately harm American consumers and businesses by increasing costs. The semiconductor industry, which relies heavily on Chinese imports, could face significant disruptions. The tariffs on solar cells and critical minerals also threaten to impact the renewable energy sector, a key focus of Biden's climate agenda. In China, the response has been one of cautious resilience. Officials have emphasized their commitment to defending national interests while seeking to avoid actions that could further escalate the trade conflict. This nuanced approach reflects an understanding of the complex interdependencies between the two economies. China remains a crucial supplier of many goods and components to the U.S., and any significant disruption could have far-reaching consequences. Chinese businesses are also preparing for the impact of the new tariffs. Companies like TSMC and AO, which play pivotal roles in the global semiconductor supply chain, are closely monitoring the situation. While these companies are headquartered outside of China, their extensive operations in the region mean they are not immune to the effects of heightened tariffs. They are exploring strategies to mitigate the impact, including diversifying supply chains and increasing investments in other regions. Meanwhile, the Biden administration is working to ensure that the tariffs are seen as part of a broader effort to strengthen U.S. economic security. This includes measures to support domestic manufacturing and reduce dependence on foreign supply chains. The administration has highlighted the importance of investing in American innovation and infrastructure as key components of this strategy. However, the political landscape in the U.S. adds another layer of complexity. With upcoming elections, there is significant pressure on Biden to demonstrate a firm stance on China. This has led to a series of policy announcements aimed at showcasing the administration's commitment to protecting American jobs and industries. Yet, balancing these domestic political considerations with the broader economic implications remains a delicate. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen's comments underscore the administration's hope for a restrained Chinese response. Yellen has played a key role in shaping the administration's economic policies and has been a vocal advocate for measured and targeted approaches to trade issues. Her statements reflect a broader strategy of seeking to minimize disruption while addressing critical economic and security concerns. The international community is also watching closely. The EU, Japan, and other major economies have their own complex relationships with both China and the U.S. The ripple effects of the U.S.-China trade tensions are likely to influence global markets and economic policies. Countries are weighing their options, seeking to balance their own economic interests with the need to navigate the shifting geopolitical landscape. In this context, China's strategy of caution and proportionality appears designed to maintain a semblance of stability. President Xi Jinping's administration is keenly aware of the need to project strength without provoking a full-scale economic conflict. This approach is evident in China's diplomatic messaging, which combines firm statements of intent with calls for dialogue and cooperation. For U.S. businesses, the new tariffs add another layer of uncertainty to an already challenging economic environment. Companies are grappling with supply chain disruptions, rising costs, and the ongoing impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The tariffs on Chinese imports add to these challenges, forcing businesses to adapt quickly to the changing landscape. Many industry leaders have called for a more nuanced approach to trade policy, one that considers the interconnected nature of the global economy. They argue that while it is important to address unfair trade practices, blanket tariffs may not be the most effective tool. Instead, they advocate for targeted measures and increased investment in domestic capabilities. As the situation continues to evolve, the need for careful management and strategic thinking is more critical than ever. Both the U.S. and China have much at stake, and the potential for miscalculation remains a significant risk. The coming months will be crucial in determining the trajectory of this complex and multifaceted relationship. In the meantime, stakeholders across various sectors are preparing for the potential fallout. The tech industry, in particular, is closely watching developments. Given its heavy reliance on Chinese manufacturing, companies are exploring ways to diversify their supply chains, reduce dependency on any single region, and invest in domestic production capabilities. The agricultural sector, another key area affected by trade policies, is also bracing for impact. U.S. farmers, who have already been hit by previous rounds of tariffs, are concerned about the potential for further disruptions. China's position as a major buyer of U.S. agricultural products means that any retaliatory measures could have significant consequences for this sector. Financial markets are reacting to the heightened uncertainty as well. Investors are closely monitoring the situation, seeking to gauge the potential impact on global trade and economic growth. The responses from both nations will play a critical role in shaping investor sentiment and market dynamics. As both countries navigate this complex terrain, the need for dialogue and cooperation remains paramount. While the current environment is marked by tension and uncertainty, there are opportunities for constructive engagement. Efforts to address the underlying issues driving the trade conflict, such as intellectual property rights and market access, could pave the way for more sustainable solutions. The broader geopolitical context also plays a significant role. The relationship between the U.S. and China is not just about trade. It encompasses a wide range of strategic and security issues. How these broader dynamics are managed will influence the trade relationship and the overall stability of the international order. Thank you for your attention, and I welcome your thoughts and questions on this complex and vital subject. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to get exclusive videos about how phenomenally China is developing and growing its influence. Your subscriptions and likes motivate us to generate more content, so please keep supporting us. Check out this video showing on your screen right now, and I will see you on the other side.